In comparison to Western TV shows, K-dramas are pretty tame and like to keep things as PG-13 as possible. But there are times where the actors will get into the shower and things get really steamy. Lee Minho in City Hunter. In 2011, Lee Minho starred as the lead actor in the drama City Hunter. In the drama, Minho plays Lee Yoon-sung, an IT expert who works in the Blue House. This isn't your typical drama though, as Minho's character makes this decision in order to take revenge for his father's suspicious passing. But even though City Hunter is a revenge story and not one of those shows where you're meant to gawk at the hot male leads, it still doesn't hurt to look, especially when the show gives us a scene with Minho in the shower. The scene just shows Minho taking a normal shower, but he doesn't have to do a lot to make viewers sweat. The show also knew what they were doing with the scene because the behind-the-scenes footage showed a staff member directly shining a light on his abs to make them stand out more on camera. Not that I saw anyone complain, but hey, give us a warning first. Sometimes people have to be prepared for this stuff. Park Seojoon in She Was Pretty. Park Seojoon has had his fair share of spicy scenes, but this definitely paved the way for the others. One of Seojoon's most popular roles is alongside Hwang Jong-geum in the drama She Was Pretty. He plays Ji Sung-doon, a CEO that meets his childhood best friend and crush again after they've both gone through a whole 180 degrees when it comes to their appearances and fortunes. Again, this particular shower scene is nothing special and probably not even meant to be steamy. In one of the episodes where the drama between the characters is at its peak, Seojoon's character takes his time alone in the shower to reflect over his problems and consider his friend's words and advice over his complicated situation. But this is Park Seojoon we're talking about, so there's literally no chance that a scene that features him being shirtless is going to be received normally by viewers. The camera even catches his abs in their full glory, so don't blame anyone watching for losing their focus on the scene for a few seconds. It really can't be helped. Gong-yu in Coffee Prince. Gong-yu makes quite the impression on his romantic interest in the drama Coffee Prince when she comes into his apartment. It's true that Gong-yu had his fair share of projects before he starred in Coffee Prince, but this one role was special in several ways. In the drama, he plays Choi Han-kyol, an irresponsible chaebol who avoids the blind dates arranged by his grandma by pretending to be attracted to men. In order to do this, he pays Eun-chan to be his pretend romantic partner without knowing that she's actually female and very, very straight. Nothing shows this better than her reaction to seeing Gong-yu without a shirt on. In one of the scenes in the show, Gong-yu's character had just come out of the shower and was walking around in his apartment in only a towel when Eun-chan came inside to complete a delivery. She walks in on him when he's sitting on the couch, completely shirtless and drying himself off with a towel. Gong-yu's character doesn't even seem to notice Eun-chan staring, but I think I can speak for everyone when I say that it's more than understandable that she forgot how to do her job for a few seconds. The girl, just like everyone else watching, was too busy staring at Gong-yu to function like a normal human being. In fact, it's more surprising that her legs didn't give out on her altogether. Joongki in Descendants of the Sun. Joongki is very flexible in his roles, but his most memorable one is still as Captain Shijin in the drama Descendants of the Sun. It's also the role that shot him into stardom and got the general public's attention and love. However, we're not here to talk about his filmography. Thankfully, Joongki appeared shirtless in the drama numerous times. Matter of fact, I think everyone remembers the scene where he's training, but let's talk about the shower scene for just a second. Or a few minutes, I wouldn't mind either way. The viewers are meant to focus on the conversation that takes place between the two characters and the humor in the scene, but it's a bit hard to focus on anything else when Joongki is standing there shirtless and dripping wet from his shower. Luckily for Joongki and us, he had to film the drama after he got discharged from his military service, so he was in top shape. Though in an old interview, he said to KBS 2 TV's Entertainment Weekly, "I don't have those same abs anymore." Though he might feel insecure about his body after all these years, after watching Vincenzo very carefully, people are finding it hard to agree with his statement. Song Kang in Forecasting Love and Weather. Looks like Song Kang's most recent roles are specifically made for his female viewers. From playing a guy that has more red flags than a golf field, who also gets shirtless often, to playing the very desired Lee Si-woo in Forecasting Love and Weather, K-drama producers know all the right ways to attract viewers. So does Song Kang, as he looks a bit too happy to play these roles. But hey, a guy has to do what he has to do, right? A more specific example of the fact that Song Kang knows his power, and so does the director, is the shower scene from this very drama. The scene didn't have much purpose and added little to nothing to the overall plot of the show or the episode, but was it necessary? Definitely so. Plus, the way the camera focused and zoomed in on his torso and arms was intentional, but again, I'm taking a wild guess BS in saying that nobody complained about it. They should have even made it longer, you know, for research purposes. Lee Junho in the red sleeve cuff. If we're focusing on technicalities, this isn't a shower scene, but it just had to be included on this list. Junho's latest project is a historical drama titled The Red Sleeve Cuff, in which he plays the Crown Prince Isan. But just because this is a historical drama, it doesn't mean that it lacks steamy scenes, which is more than understandable considering that Lee Junho is a part of the cast. In one of these scenes, Song Do-kim, a court lady and his love interest in the show, is tasked with helping Isan bathe, which is a job that everyone would want. You can't see much as Junho is actually sitting down for his bath, but we get a few seconds of his bare chest on camera. Then his character gets a bit shy around Do-kim and unfortunately decides to cover himself up. While this gives us a shot of him shirtless, it doesn't last for long. Though I think it's safe to say that no viewers turned around when Isan ordered Do-kim to do it. He then wears a thin white robe and gets into the water again, but it's not the same as seeing him actually shirtless. But let's keep our hopes up that his character in his new drama alongside Yuna features more shower scenes. They have to make up for everything we missed in the red sleeve cuff. Park Seojoon in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. I know, I already mentioned Seojoon once in this list, but believe me, this scene is absolutely necessary to be included. What's Wrong with Secretary Kim is especially known for the steamy scenes, especially the kiss shared between the two leads, but that's a conversation I'm hoping we'll have another day. The drama revolves around Seojoon's character Lee Young-jun, who's the rich vice president of a large company. His romantic interest in the show is his secretary of many years named Kim Mi-so, who's played by Park Min-young. But Young-jun questions everything once Mi-so decides that she has had enough and tells him that she's quitting her job. The drama could have gone on well without the shower scene, as it involves no major plot point or anything that could have made the plot go on, but I think TVN would have received a few complaint letters if the scene wasn't included. Seojoon is standing there under the shower stream being hot and thinking about his equally hot secretary, and we're supposed to not stare and drool? Not a chance. Nam Joohyuk in The Bride of Habaek. Again, if we're focusing on the technicalities, this isn't a shower scene either. In fact, it's even less credible because Nam Joohyuk's character isn't even washing himself. But let's ignore all of that and look at Nam Joohyuk because it's important. In The Bride of Habaek, Joohyuk plays a god who is looking for a powerful stone on Earth in order to get his rightful place on the throne. He's helped by a psychiatrist played by Shin Se-kyung, who's also destined to become his wife. Now on to the scene. As I mentioned, it isn't a shower scene because all Joohyuk does is pour water on himself with a teapot. Plus, he's fully clothed in the scene, but that doesn't mean that it didn't have the same effect on the viewers as the scenes mentioned before this. His whole act is more cute than steamy in this scene, but it's hard to focus on how cute he looks shaking the water off of his hair when the white shirt he's wearing gets completely soaked and leaves nothing to the imagination about what's hidden underneath. Plus, the whole look with the wet hair, sheer white shirt, and Joohyuk looking like that just makes the whole scene even better. Sure, he has a bath scene in the show too, and his chest is completely bare in it, but I think I've given you enough heart attacks for one day. If you want a second part to the video, I wouldn't blame you at all, so tell me in the comments. I'm hoping and assuming you enjoyed the video, so I'll see you next time. Bye!